We're here today because we have a problem of our own making, which is that most people think that Loupe is robotic basketball hoops and barbecue. We actually have a real job.
Okay, it's not all just this is for work.
I mean, not
Instagram
me.
posts.
We're like coming in all these places, we're meeting new people where like they've also been working on their code base for like a year or 5 years or 10 years. And so the question is like, what would we even do together? Like, it's not always obvious because we're just showing up on some random day. We found this really interesting exercise, which was a deep dive, which is like a joint code review. It's sort of like when you would take your car to the mechanic, not a mechanic you don't like, but like your trusted mechanic, like the person who's like, here's some things that you could do, for sure give an oil change, but you should consider this, you should consider that. Here's some trade-offs about when you want to make these moves, because like if you want to keep this thing running or you want to keep it going, like you're going to need to take those kind of actions, and it's like trusted advice. The benefit of that is like we've done like hundreds of different projects and we have a lot of experience, but we've never really gotten involved with what they've built. Like they have their whole history of like why they built it that way, what was the history behind it. You know, they're often building under duress or like, you know, they have the reasons for building what they built, but we haven't had a chance to work together before. And so often when we're just like, get in and take a look around, like there's just like interesting opportunities that come out of that, like stuff that we never would have known, stuff that they never would have known. It's just like, let's get together and take a close look at this thing and be like, where could we take this? Like, not we being like us and them, right? It's like, what are you trying to do? And like, how could you accomplish that? So it's just really a like in-depth way to get to know each other and like bring our experience to be like, here's what we see. Usually we find that to be like really, really interesting and valuable for both sides. Is it possible to order too much? I think so.
Not when it's this tender, I think. It's a great low cost way to start a collaboration.
Yeah.
and getting that right trajectory.
Yeah.
Again, referring back to our shaping
Yep.
videos and fixed effort, variable scope. It's like we need to have the right trajectory, and this is a way to kind of get that trajectory in a direction that fits the current struggles and goals.
These are some ideas. It's the list of ideas of things we could work on together.
So it's a flat rate. 1 week we send out a senior engineer, Loupe engineer, and they work with the development teams of the machine manufacturers and identify some of those struggles and where they currently are. Really get a good understanding of what their goals look like.
Yeah.
And then
where they're coming from.
Building up that report of all those individual recommendations to get from where they are to where they want to be. If we do it or if they're capable of doing it, it doesn't really matter. It's like these are our recommendations. We can help out with all of them, or we can delegate as time.
And what I love about that is also just like the trade-offs or criteria of decision making, right? Like for every recommendation, it's like, okay, what are the considerations or like what are the qualifiers that we would put on a particular suggestion?
So each of the suggestions have some list of priorities, high, medium, low priorities. Also the kind of difficulty levels of implementing those, if it's easy, medium, hard, kind of multi-stage systems. Most importantly, having the benefits of implementing them. What is the outcome? What does success look like if that element is implemented?
Yeah, cost benefit, because like nothing is done in a vacuum. Like obviously you'd love to sit down and be like, let's do everything, but it's like, when's the right time to do it? How hard is it? What's it going to be? What's the risk level? Like those are things that are important to consider. And it's like, I remember one where we've done like, here's some easy stuff right away. And then it's like a year later, it's like, it's time to tackle the big gorilla. Like it's time. Those considerations are things that just help in good decision making about timing, right? Very realistic and practical.
I always refer back to that 80-20 rule. Like there's some components that is 20% of the effort that we get 80% of the outcome out of. Yeah, totally. But then there's those getting that last 20% takes significant effort and tends to be multi-stage efforts. The brisket is completely spot on.
The crust is probably the wrong technical word.
Melts in your mouth. I think having the proper crust on the
crust.
Or bark.
Bark, thank you.
Bark.
That's the word I was looking
for.
Just as simple as possible. It's like we're bringing all of our expertise. We're bringing that senior engineer in for a week to collab with the team and just like get a look at what's here. And really, it's a report. It's like, here's what we found. Might be 3 pages, might be 5 pages of like findings of like, from our point of view, like here's what we see. Like easy, medium, hard, really valuable, really, medium value, medium risk, it depends. And that's something that, I mean, I've seen people get like a lot of value out of, because it's some of the easy stuff that's on there is like, this was worth the week in just by itself, you know?
It also allows, like, when you start going into sprint executions,
Yeah.
that it's almost a choose your own adventure as the priorities change. And then it allows for the shaping process to be like, you're just kind of picking and choosing of like, oh, this is super relevant right now. We can get this done now that we're rebuilding this new modular subsystem.
Yeah, totally. Hell yeah.
And then so that allows us to stack sprints up a lot tighter as well, because we have that trajectory.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, well, I mean, again, it's a straightforward ask. It's a straightforward offer. Like, let's get together for a week and see what's here and see if we can come up with some awesome ideas for collaboration. Sounds straightforward to me. I hope some people take us up on it. Email Dominic.
Yep.
Dom, thank you.
Bros.
Come back
Till the
soon.
next one.